Now, tonight's adventure into the unknown.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the stage, Mr. Chad Daniels.
Hi, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Daniels.
Hello.
My next guest is a comedian from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Please welcome the very funny Chad Daniels.
Chad Daniels, everybody! Hi, hello.
Comedian Chad Daniels talking about his upcoming show. Hello, Chad.
Hi.
My next guest is a very funny comedian. He's at the Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Please welcome Chad Daniels, everybody. Chad Daniels.
After my son got kicked out of school, my friends had called and they go, "Hey, you checking his room for drugs?" And the answer is no, I'm not doing that. Because I went in his room one time and I'm not going back in there. Oh my God. Have you ever stubbed your toe on a sock? I found a ruler on the sink in my son's bathroom. 15 minutes after I found the ruler, I knocked on his bedroom door because that is how long it had taken me to stop laughing. And he finally yells through the door, "I was doing math while I was pooping." This kid makes people dumber by being around him. And it's not because he's dumb. I think he could be a super genius, and he's just messing with me. Because 2 days later, he was speaking negatively about something. And I go, "Hey, man, sky's the limit." And he goes, "I don't know why people say that when there are footprints on the moon." And I was like, "I need you to go to your room for a little bit. You're not in trouble. I just need a little time to figure that out. Because it sounds right, but you said it, so I'm super confused."
Welcome to Sarge Approved. I'm Sarge, and I'm here with Frenzy.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Frenzy.
Hey, what's up?
We have a pretty badass guest tonight.
We absolutely do.
One of our favorite comedians, Mr. Chad Daniels. What's up, Chad?
Hey, Chad.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Super good. How are you?
Everything is good.
Good. I like
Beautiful. You are a fellow Minnesotan, like me and Frenzy here.
Yeah, I live in Fergus Falls.
We're broadcasting out of the Twin Cities here, so we always enjoy when we get fellow Minnesotans on. We don't get enough Minnesota guests.
No,
we've only had a few.
Yeah,
well, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I've been to Fergus Falls before. My grandparents retired in Frazee, near Detroit Lakes. Do you remember where that is?
Interesting connection. My grandparents lived in Frazee. My mom and dad were both born there, graduated high school there.
What?
So I go there for Turkey Days every summer.
Oh, Turkey Days.
You guys might be related.
And Crazy Days. Crazy Days is there, too. Do you remember...
Yeah, I don't remember Crazy Days. I just remember Turkey Days.
Okay. Do you remember the big turkey that's on the hill by the dam, by the Lions Dam? It's like this most gigantic
Absolutely.
turkey.
I used to... that was the first park that ever had one of those... you know how there's two platforms on both sides, and then you hold onto a handle, and it slides all the way down? That's the first time I ever did one of those.
Oh, that's amazing. So there was this big debacle in the town where the turkey used to be like a wild turkey painted color. And then because Frazee raises a lot of turkeys that actually like people eat, like the white colored turkey feathers, someone like a group of people decided they were going to just do this crazy like prank, but it wasn't a prank because they really believed in it, and they painted the turkey white in the middle of the night, and all the people were like super upset. Yeah.
Pretty pissed off. Yeah.
They were super pissed off.
Everyone should be upset there. It smells like turkey shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a bad smell.
It's horrible. We took my son to that park. My dad and I, we went up there a couple years, like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and my son is like, "Mommy, it just smells over here so bad. Like, what is that?" Like he could tell.
It's real gross. Yeah. It smells like the part. It smells like the part in somebody's hair after they use a public batting cage helmet. That's the closest I've ever come to describing turkey shit in the air.
It's terrible.
I have never smelled the part of somebody's hair after wearing a batting cage on it. How'd you stumble into that situation?
My son and I were at a batting cage. He took the helmet off, and I just gave him a hug because I put him in the 90-mile-per-hour cage, and he was like, I don't know, maybe 12, and he hung in there.
Nice.
So yeah. I gave him a big hug, and when I did, I was just like, turkey shit.
Memories. Well, they say that there's memories that you have by like smelling certain things. It's like one of our senses, you know.
Yep. I think the olfactory senses are the number one memory retrievers, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I think so. Well, you said it way more fancy and smarter than me, but yeah, basically we said.
Well, here's what I do. Here's my move: is I use big words, and people believe me. I'm probably wrong.
No, olfactory is the description of sense of smell.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that works then. I'll take it.
Perfect.
Yeah, all you gotta do is sprinkle a couple of big words in there, a couple of official sounding words, and you could fool most people.
Yeah, you just have to say them, enunciate them in the right way.
Yeah.
If you kind of defer a little bit, people are like, "Oh, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about."
You can't say it in like a southern accent.
Then they're like, "Spell it for me."
The olfactory senses are the ones that make you remember shit.
Yeah, no.
You can't say anything in a southern accent and have anyone believe you.
Exactly. But do you see? I think it's funny and cool at the same time, and kind of weird that you really don't have a Minnesota accent like at all.
He doesn't. Wait, say.
When I have a couple of whiskeys, I almost sound Canadian, but otherwise, I've really tried to drive it out of my accent. So.
Oh,
you've tried to. We need to talk about this another time.
Well, because going on the road, I wanted to make sure that. I mean, you know, some people have an act that they want to be known for being Minnesota.
Right.
So they keep the accent for sure, and they almost thicken it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I just never wanted anyone to really know where I was from. I just kind of wanted to be just sound normal. I don't know if that makes sense. But,
well, you're doing a good job, because when we were researching... Yeah, you're welcome. When we were researching you, we knew that you were from Minnesota, but I was like, is he still living here now? I don't know. I can't find anything. Like, there's nothing posted about like where you're living at, and I was like, he doesn't sound like he's still living here, so I really didn't think you were. And then I ended up like doing my super ninja.
I have 2 kids, so I try to make sure no one ever knows for sure.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah. Frenzy's got a Minnesota accent that tends to get a little thick sometimes during the course of these episodes, especially after a couple cocktails. You can hear the...
Do people call you out on it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Don't you know?
You guys aren't going to believe that.
They're like, are you from I've gotten so many times, are you from Fargo? And I literally am like, no, I am not from Fargo.
We've had Canadians on that have less of an accent than us.
I don't know.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I went on vacation probably, I don't know, a couple months ago, and we were in the Caribbean, and it was kind of crazy because people asked us if we were Canadian.
Yeah,
I've gotten that in Mexico before too.
Everyone just kind of assimilates that accent with Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
And we just always answer kind of.
Yeah, we're close. I actually went to Mexico like 3 years ago, and I met a couple that was from Edmonton, Canada. And they, oh my god! Like I was looking at them some parts of the night like a couple times, and I was like, what? Like they were speaking a completely different language, but they also turned me on to this YouTube video that you'll have to check out. It's called "Want to Go for a Rip," and it's like these Canadian guys dressed in like lumberjack flannels, and they're just totally making the Canadian accent like more.
All the stereotypes come out.
They like get in a fist fight in a snowbank, and then drink
they
a bunch
hug.
of beer, and then they whip shitties in a field, and like it's like want to go for a rip, and it's the best thing ever. So I got introduced to that from them.
I will check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though that you still live in Minnesota. You're still rocking it Minnesota style, even though you're a national headlining comedian.
I think with my mental instability, I need balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just like, I think about going to an apartment in Los Angeles after having a shit week somewhere in like, I don't know, Cleveland, Ohio or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like hating life. So coming back here, it just kind of it grounds you a little bit. At least it does for me, and that's why I've chosen to stay.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like a little local celebrity in your town then? Or do people bother you that much, or is it pretty much as,
no,
still pretty normal?
My kids think that I am because everybody knows me, but the problem is it's because I grew up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, people will come up to me and be like, "Hey, Chad, how's it going?" They're like, "Do they know you for my comedy?" I'm like, "Nope, they know me because we went to high school together." It's kind of, or that's, I had them for a teacher, or whatever it is. I just it's just because I live in a town of 15,000 people that people know who I am. That's basically it. So
yeah, it's kind of a weird circumstance, the situation that your life is. In my mind, you're a successful comedian. You've got every one of your albums you've got out is fucking hilarious.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I love it. And people know who you are. You're a legitimate comedian, but you've been in the same town like your entire life. Most of the time, people, especially those little towns, they end up leaving to go chase whatever their dream is, and they don't stay in the little town they came from. But you've just been rocking it this whole time, and that's kind of badass. You don't hear about that too often.
Yeah, like I just with airplanes and internet, you can kind of do comedy from wherever you need to be. I mean, of course, it's a little more advantageous to be in Los Angeles or New York because you get seen a lot more by the people that need to see you. But
right.
I just kind of like doing stand up, and I like writing jokes, and I like putting them on CDs, and so I'm just gonna. To me, that's kind of a good career when you talk about straight stand-up comedy. So that's what I've chosen to do, and I don't regret it. That's for sure.
Well, that's a big, huge thing. No regrets is like the best thing ever.
Yeah. So how did you?
People ask me sometimes. They're like, oh, hey, do you ever think about what would have happened if you moved to LA? And no, because that's the kind of shit that kills people from heart attacks and stuff like that. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not going to think about what could have happened in LA because the truth is, I know without a doubt what I would have missed here if I would have moved to LA. I don't know if that makes any sense. But.
Yeah. Well, and I think that it's awesome too because I think that you've created a really good balance of your career plus like your family life and like your own kind of what you crave and what you need. And you're able to do all of those things, That's pretty cool.
I mean, there's a great chance that I'm on a countdown to become a Walmart greeter, but until that happens, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, you're obviously, I assume, at a point where your comedy career is your living, right? You don't have to work a shitty 9-to-5 job.
Yep, correct.
And so, you're not going to be, if you got, say, an offer for some development deal or something, and where you had to move out to California, that's not something that you'd want to do because you have a family and everything, and all your roots are here in Minnesota. But you have,
I have. I mean, I think it would all depend on what the schedule would be. But my son graduated high school this year, so he's kind of moving on to college, and but my daughter is 13. And so she'll be in 8th grade. And I do want to be here for these years because, I mean, she's 13. These are the big years. And even though I'm no longer married, I have no plans of moving out of Fergus until both my kids are out of the house and doing their own thing. And I just, it's, even though you don't really sign up for being a dad, once you are, you just you're in it. So
yep, exactly.
Yeah, you
a dad or a mom.
You can't
any
imagine.
parent.
you can't imagine yourself being out of it.
Of course a mom. I've just never been a mom, so I always say that.
No, I hope not. That would mean you have a vagina. I don't want that.
Well,
that would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
It's just, your whole situation is it's very cool. It's very impressive, that you come from a small Minnesota town of all things, and you've got a successful comedy career where you're able to make a living off of it, and still be a family man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stop kissing his ass. Let's say I want to say that as far as like your comedy, the fact that you talk a lot about like the stories about your kids and stuff. Like I have a 7-year-old. I have a 7-year-old little boy. I guess boy now. Okay. And so like the whole like masturbating and like the hard sock, like you stubbed your toe on it, like all that stuff. I'm like, that's gonna be happening to me, and I'm divorced too. So like I don't have,
it sure is.
Like that's gonna happen. And I'm like, and I look at him and I'm like, no, just can you come snuggle with me? And he's like, no, don't take my picture, like don't hug me. And I'm just like, it's already beginning. Like it's over. All the cute years are over.
Yeah.
So I just love hearing that.
It's interesting to me that while the cute years may be coming to an end, they do show back up in little moments. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of neat. Like like I said, my son. He's 17 and he's a 17-year-old boy.
Right.
So you're not going to get a lot of information. You're not going to get a lot of stuff. But over this graduation for the last month or whatever, he's come down and he's asked me a bunch of like life questions. We've had some really solid conversations, and about 3 weeks before he graduated, he called me from work and he goes, hey, are you busy tonight? And I go, yeah, I have plans. And then he goes, oh, I was just going to see if you wanted to go to a movie. And I almost shit my pants. I was like, I'll drop my plans. I didn't know that was the thing.
Right. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's cool.
There are, not a ton of drop everything moments with a 17-year-old kid, and when you get one, you do it because it's just like we had so much fun at the movie, and I can always reschedule poker night.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Well, yeah, I guess it just basically comes down to like your relationship changes, and they're kind of the ones that get to dictate how that changes because they're the ones that are changing and growing up.
Don't they?
And we just as parents, we just kind of have to be like, okay, they're growing and this is what they're doing, and they're going to come back to me at certain times or whatever it is. But it's kind of that you have to let go a little bit too.
Yeah, I heard it described as with a teenage kid. It's like when the space shuttle re-enters the atmosphere, NASA loses contact for that little bit when they're in re-entry.
Yes.
And everyone's just hoping for the best. And then finally they're like, NASA, we're through. And they're like, oh, fucking thank God. Everybody's hugging and high-fiving. And I think that's like parenting a teenager, right?
I think it is, and then the shuttle always comes back like a little burnt, like they're a little bit like...
So that whole teenage...
They're a little bit like rougher around the edges now, because they came through the atmosphere.
Yeah. A little bit traumatized.
Yeah, and a little bit like, also probably. I'm tougher too.
I'm sure every single parent, all of us included, have traumatized our kids in some way, whether slight or bit, in a large way. There's something we've traumatized them in the course of their life.
I think so too. I truly believe you should not be able to talk to a child until they're 15 unless you have a PhD in some child bullshit.
Like child psychology or something.
Yeah, it's just crazy because, of course, like you're watching a TV show or a sport, and all of a sudden you get mad at what happened and you yell something at the TV, and then that's in them forever. It's crazy.
I know.
They're such little asshole sponges.
I know. They totally are.
What do child psychologists know? I mean, how do we know that they're legit? They probably go home to a couple of shitty kids that are just total assholes. You know what I mean? What's their family life like?
Right.
That's
like that thing. Like if those who can't teach.
Exactly. Yeah. I want to see like a marriage counselor with a perfect marriage, or a psychologist who doesn't have some kind of weird skeletons in his closet.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I grew up, so I had a buddy that was my age, and then his brother was 2 years older than him.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty close in age. Like basically, I mean, obviously same upbringing. They were in the same house. Their parents were amazing, loving, supportive. One guy was like a true athlete. The other guy was in all the sports, but more of kind of like a skateboarder kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And then you're looking at all of the same everything. One kid ends up an anesthetist in an operating room, and the other kid's in prison for stealing because of a gambling addiction. So It's like, who the fuck knows what you're doing as a parent? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out how much of how a person ends up is how much is nature, how much is nurture, how much do your parents.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I think it's both of your parents, plus I think it's like their parent, like their like the kids' grandparents, and maybe like other it's not just the parents, like it's other DNA.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think
I'll go into great aunts and uncles if I have to win an
Absolutely.
argument.
And like your great aunt Matilda that lived in Scotland, like that's why you
that bitch
chew with your mouth wide open, and I want to punch you in the face.
Your dad was an alcoholic, and it's like, well, your great aunt's a meth head, so what the fuck? Let's go. Let's start this party.
Right?
I think everyone is born with the majority of who they're going to end up being. You know what I mean? I think I think you're right. I think it unwinds. It's like one of those those candles that has different layers, and then different stuff's released as it goes down. I think that's what people are. It's just like it just takes a while for their true personality to show, and then you probably hit your mark at 35 when that's the person you're going to be forever. I don't know. Yeah, because you see like a couple of meth head trailer park trash parents that end up raising somebody who creates symphonies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and,
yes.
And I think it's a majority of your DNA too. I also think that there's certain aspects that you experience, like relationships, maybe past relationships that you've had dictate future ones, stuff like that. But the majority of who you are as a person, I agree. I think that you're just kind of born with it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that going back to your example, Sarge, I think that you take two meth head trailer park people that have a kid that creates symphonies, and probably some of that has to do with that kid wanting to get the fuck out of the trailer park and not be anything like his parents.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to that too, because both
like
my
Eminem.
parents smoked, and I've never ever tried a cigarette, not ever once, just because I hated it.
Right.
I hated the smell of it coming in my room. So.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, it's weird. Who knows? Nobody's ever gonna know.
Hey, is this supposed to be a funny podcast? Because if so, I'm really not doing great.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is.
We're talking about parenting, and all of a sudden, like, what about this fucking meth head symphony kid? Just bringing it up.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
I perhaps have an answer.
Okay, Sarge and I have talked about this on the podcast before, but never really with anyone from Minnesota. Minnesota State Fair, new foods. Have you looked them up? Have you seen them? Do you go to the fair?
I have not. This is crazy. I used to live across Snelling, kind of by Como Park, from the State Fair. You guys are gonna fucking kill me. I've been there one time.
What?
So, did you ever rent out your lawn for people to park on?
No, I lived in an apartment, so I
apartment.
didn't have the authority to do that.
I would have done it.
I would have done. Yeah, I was going to say I would have established some racketeering.
Oh yeah,
expedition.
I totally own this yard. Yep, $20 a car.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, then it was weird. The other day I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I feel like the new foods for this fair should be coming out, because I love going to the fair. And I looked it up, Googled it. Oh, they came out like 6 hours ago. I was like, damn.
Laid on us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm not going to read all of them because there's 31 new ones.
Holy shit.
Right. But one of them is...
Do they get rid of some every year then, too?
They get new vendors. Like I think there's like 3 or 4 or 5 different new stands. But so one of them is a cherry bomb. It's a red licorice. It's red licorice dipped in batter, deep fried, and dusted with powdered sugar.
That's crazy. That sounds delicious. I love licorice.
Licorice is good. There is also a bacon fluffer nutter, which is a grilled cinnamon bun sandwich with bacon, peanut butter, and a marshmallow cream filling. It's a lot of sweet stuff this year, and like a lot of like mixing sweet and savory. And I don't really feel like there's one huge one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try that one. But
Can I throw this out there?
yeah.
My daughter and I did not have graham crackers or Hershey's bars,
Yeah.
so we made s'mores with Ritz crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate-covered peanuts,
Ooh.
like the clusters.
Yeah.
So it almost fit perfectly onto the Ritz, and it was delicious.
No, that sounds really good.
It sounds like that thing you just said with the peanuts and the marshmallow filling and the bacon and whatever else. But it was great. It tastes because they had the salt on the outside of the Ritz, and then the peanuts, of course, and then the chocolate and the peanut butter. I gotta tell you, pretty
No,
good.
yeah, I love the sweet and salty. I get weird when there's like meat involved. I guess I don't know, but that's fine. There's a cheesy nacho corn on the cob, which is roasted corn on the cob, lightly coated with crushed Doritos and nacho cheese.
Yeah.
So that's one.
A Dorito.
That's a dirty trick right there.
That is
Dorito
super
covered
dirty.
corn on the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
And then
Did somebody bet that person they couldn't make $1 million in one summer?
right?
Because they're about to.
Okay. Here's the last one.
Stoners unite.
Here's the last one I'll read because I don't want to bore everybody with it. But this is called the Breakfast Buddy Bowl. And it is a waffle bowl filled with hash browns, maple syrup, scrambled eggs, cheddar cheese, bacon, and then it's topped with a biscuit, country sausage gravy, and green onions.
Who's the maple syrup on?
That sounds delicious.
There's a couple of the new fair foods.
Damn.
Have you, when was the last time you went to the fair?
Oh, it was so long ago. My son was in a stroller, so.
OMG, you gotta go.
Yeah.
There's this game that I like to play called State Fair Bingo. And I'll actually draw out bingo cards and write like family wearing matching t-shirts or a guy with a mullet or a guy wearing black sandals with socks or a kid on a leash or like all the things like someone on a hover round, someone double fisting 2 footlongs, whatever it is. And then you just go around and have beers and get food and check off your bingo sheet.
Yeah, that sounds like a good drinking.
Are you going to pass those out?
Yeah, I'll make multiple ones.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you the template. So if you decide to go this year, you can print one out.
So, Chad, how did you get started in this whole comedy game? How long you been doing it?
Oh man. So, let's see, 17, so 18 years. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
That's like a whole adult.
Yeah.
You know,
I was working
you're a vet.
Go ahead.
You're a veteran comic.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say real old. So I was working at Xerox, and I got fired from that company, but they gave me a 6-month severance package.
Nice.
And then I decided to throw myself a retirement party with the money for my 6-month severance package. And my buddies brought me to Acme Open Mic, and they signed me up without me knowing about it, and that was it.
How old were you?
I was 23.
23.
Wow.
And so how'd it go? You got up on stage and nailed it?
Yeah, I mean, I can
bomb?
remember it honestly like I'm still sitting there because it was so nerve-wracking. It like really got my heart pumping and fired my brain up. So they go, your next comedian is Chad Daniels. And I looked at my buddy and I go, oh man, if I ever do decide to try this, I'm going to have to change my name. And then he pushed me and he goes, it's you. We signed you up, stupid. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
And how'd it go?
Yeah. I ate shit.
Oh, good.
In 3 minutes, I probably got, 3 laughs. All I was doing was making fun of my friends, but I kept unscrewing the microphone stand. So the mic was in my left hand, and with my right hand, I was unscrewing the stand, and it was still in the stand. Unscrewing it and screwing it back together
just nervous
as a way to not shake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was brutal. I mean, some guys think like, oh man, I wrote these great jokes. They're going to be so funny. I'm going to be famous in 3 months. And it's like, good luck shaking stage fright in the first 6, you fucking dum-dum.
Yeah.
Right?
It's terrifying.
I bet.
Well,
unless you're a psycho.
Yeah.
Right, you're a
thing.
serial killer.
You have to be a sociopath. You have to murder somebody after every open mic. Just to maintain some normalcy. No, I like hearing when a comedian says their first time on stage that they just ate shit, because we hear every once in a while.
Brutal.
We hear every once in a while where like we ask them, how'd it go that first time on stage, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I nailed it. It was great. I just killed it." Like it's just, really, did you really nail it, or do you just think you nailed it?
Yeah, then why are you still featuring?
Right.
Yeah.
If you nailed it your first time, why didn't you skyrocket to theaters?
Exactly.
Listen, I don't have a lot of patience for that comment, but I will say this. I did go back the second time and ate shit again. Fact. I ate shit for so long, but I love talking to the other comedians after the shows.
Yeah.
That's on it. That's truly why I kept signing up, because I really enjoyed kind of like the way people fought at the comedy club. So you'd get, as long as you went on stage, you got to be part of that little clique at the after the show. You got to sit there and talk with everybody and pick everybody's brain, and I really enjoyed the way that the comedian's mind worked, and that's what kept me going back, because I was so bad for so long that anyone else would have quit. I mean, I should have quit. I'm not saying like, oh, I pushed through it. I should have quit. I just fucked up by not quitting. But I really enjoy talking with everybody.
That's cool, because you kind of have that kind of group of people that are kind of on the same wavelength as you, and trying to think the same way and whatever. Yeah, and to find that and be able to.
Just an interesting way to think. The way the comedians have to attack a topic and pick out all of it and see what fits for them and see what doesn't. I don't know. It's just it's fun to see the wheels in motion while talking to a comedian, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we like having them on our show, so we don't look at it the same perspective, but I mean, I don't know. Pretty much every comedian we've ever had on has been really fun to talk to and amazing people. So
yeah, they're our favorite guests for sure. Mm-hmm. And all the other guests we've had on, if you're listening and you're not a comedian, sorry.
Yeah,
you're awesome too.
You're awesome too.
But comedians are. We love comedians. We're fans of comedy in general. The whole art of it. Because it definitely is an art form, and one of those last true forms of self-expression.
Mm-hmm.
And podcasts and shit like that. That's another form of self-expression that's been growing and growing as the years have gone on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And a lot of comedians are using that outlet as well. Because there's only so much you can say on stage, because you have to you have to do it in a certain way, and you can get your message out and whatnot, or what your thoughts are on things, but you still got to do it in a structured way.
Yeah. Well, that's like the platform that Chad, that you use, like releasing your albums and stuff. You're able to talk about kind of what you're thinking and just put it out there. That's cool.
You just dropped.
I go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna plug your album real quick.
Let me step aside then.
Oh shit! Yeah, you just dropped a new album this year. When did that come out?
February 3rd.
Okay, so pretty darn recent. Footprints on the Moon.
It's awesome. I've listened to the whole thing.
It is a good one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah. We've listened to a couple of other albums too.
Yeah, you've got 4 of them on Spotify, and I think that's where I stumbled upon you. Was on Spotify, because I would,
oh, cool.
I had the unique opportunity during the day to have earbuds in my ear and listen to podcasts and comedy albums and stuff, and so I would just run through like every comedian that Spotify had to offer, and it's a lot of them. And when I came across you, I started listening to your albums, and I loved every single one of them. I believe you've got 4 of them on there now.
Yeah, that's true.
And every single one of them.
4 albums.
Yeah.
4 albums.
Every single one of them is is gold, dude. I love every one of them. Just.
Oh, thanks. What's kind of been fun for me is it's like a recorded diary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I'll be at a show in Minneapolis at Acme, and that's where I started doing stand up, and people will come up and they'll be like, oh man, that's your son's 17 now. I remember when he was 3, and they'll say like, it's like he grew up in our house.
Yeah. We've had conversations like that before, where it's kind of when you're able to just have the things that you talk about recorded, that it's almost like a time capsule. Like you get to look back on it and have that, and always have that.
Yep,
look
absolutely.
back on it. And, the last one I listened to yesterday was, I think your son was 13. I've listened to the other ones too, but I listened to that one yesterday.
Well, that's cool too.
That was an interesting time.
Yeah, I bet.
It's nice because you've got, your first one came out in 2009, I believe it was.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You don't even know, dude.
He's like, whatever.
Like, shit, I can't keep track of that stuff.
It's too much to keep track of.
I'm looking you up right now on Spotify.
Well, I have to remember like orchestra concerts and shit. I can't remember when my stuff happened.
I don't blame you. Yeah. 2009. So you've put one out like, every 2 to 3 years, which is cool.
Yeah.
You're not waiting 6-7 years in between albums, and it's all fresh material on each album.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that I appreciate is that I think one of the reasons why I find you so funny is because when you're telling a story, it's just like you're telling a story to like people that you're close to, and you feel it just sounds like you're super comfortable and just having a conversation. Like you're not in front of a huge bunch of people, just maybe like 2 or 5 or whatever, And
that's nice. Well, thanks a lot, because that's what I was going for. So that's real nice to hear.
Yay, good.
Yeah,
that's totally what I think.
I love that style right there that you're explaining, where you just kind of like we're doing here in a way. We're just having a conversation, but you're doing it to a crowd of people.
But especially because in the beginning you were not okay with that. So the fact that you've kind of overcame that and figured it out, maybe with the help of other comedians or whatever it is, but you got to that point, and that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was my mom. I was watching her at a couple different functions where there were a bunch of people, and she was so engaged with the audience. She was like making eye contact, and it really did seem like it was just the same way she would tell me a story when we were eating.
Yeah.
And so that when I saw that, I was like, I think that's probably how you have to do it, because then people feel like they're engaged with you, and they feel like that it's kind of for them. It's their conversation.
Yeah, they feel connected with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice. I mean, because I do feel it sounds weird to say I feel connected with the crowd, but I do. I kind of use it as a instead of thinking of it as, like at Acme, let's say 320 people, I feel like it's just kind of one unit that I'm having a one-on-one conversation with.
Right, like you're not doing crowd work per se. You're just...
That's like the perfect sized room, isn't it, Acme?
Yeah, Acme's good.
That club is so perfect on so many different levels. It's hard to explain to people, and I've been spoiled starting there, because I'll go on the road, and I'm in different clubs, and some clubs aren't like that. They're just there to sell their $40 meals and whatever else, and it's just like, man, shouldn't a comedy club be about comedy? It's in the fucking name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Acme's great. Sargent actually went to an open mic probably like a month or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And who was there? Like Cy Amundsen.
Oh my god, that dude's hilarious.
Yep. And Corey Miller and a bunch of other people. That it was just like it was a good night for like open mic, but then also some familiar names too. And literally we stayed from open to the end. And normally when I've gone to open mics there, sometimes I dip out early or whatever, but the energy in the room, and even like we went and saw Corey Adam like that following week. They're doing another open mic
Sisyphus
at a brewery, and he even brought it up. Absolutely. Like, oh my gosh, the energy that night was so awesome, wasn't it? We're like, yes, like it was so cool. It was really cool.
I mean, because sometimes you get those open mic nights where you have a couple guys where they make you laugh, but a lot of them it's just kind of like uncomfortable laughter. which is fine. They're working their material out.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that night, I remember that night you're talking about, like, holy shit. It was
good.
so good. I mean, damn near every single person that got up on stage was just bringing it, and the whole room was just with them. Everyone was just laughing their ass off. There's definite energy in that room, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, and it was packed. Like, I remember going to the bathroom, like, sorry if I kick your shin. I'm trying to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, it was packed.
Like, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little biased, but I think that has the potential to be the best open mic in the country.
Yeah. I mean,
we've talked about it on the podcast with other comedians who've never even been to Minnesota. Like, oh, have you ever heard of Acme? And they're like, no. And we're like, what?
But there's plenty of ones that have too. Like, I think Acme's one of the big names, in the country for
majority
clubs.
of them have heard of it, but the ones that
I'd say top five club in the country. And if you're doing comedy and haven't heard of Acme, then keep your act in the South at the fried waffle place.
Right?
That'd be just fine.
Yeah. So how often?
I'm being such a dick. I love it.
I love it too.
Hey, Minnesota needs to get its props too. We don't get enough recognition.
Well, yeah, and someone else needs to be not passive aggressive like me. So thank you for taking on that job.
That's what Minnesota nice means. It's passive aggressiveness.
Oh, you hit my car. Are you okay?
Lightly veiled passive aggressiveness.
You smashed into the back of my car. Oh, yep.
So how often are you working in Minnesota? Are you mostly working out of state when you're going and doing gigs?
Yeah, it's mostly out of state. I just do I do one show in Fargo every year because that's about an hour from my place, and then I do a week at Acme. But this year we've switched from Acme to the Women's Club, which is down kind of by Loring Park and Basilica.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a couple, just one night, and a couple shows there, November 25th. So, and I'm thinking, I'm kind of getting a feeling like I should probably film it for a special, just because it's kind of hometown,
absolutely,
bigger crowds, one night. So I would really love to do that. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't filmed anything in maybe like 3.5 years or something like that. So
really,
yeah, you should film it.
Might as well. Me and Frenzy will be there.
I'm excited.
I can be your videographer if you want.
I don't even know what that means because I'm so bad at all of the technical stuff.
Well, I was just trying to use big words to make myself look smart. Videographer.
Nailed it, Frenzy. You nailed it.
Completely. That must have been from your olfactory lobe.
Yes, exactly.
During the retrieval process.
Thank you.
Dude, you did Acme this year already, didn't you? Earlier this year?
I did Acme. No, I do it, so I have one full week that was normally in October. The week before any sort of Halloween festivities is where I was the last 3 years. And then I've done a couple fundraisers there this year, but otherwise, just that 1 week, yeah.
And then did you do the Hopkins Comedy Club too? Was that in May?
I did, yeah. They had like a little festival. So
how was that?
Is that Royal?
It was really fun. I walked in, and we were there probably like 15 minutes early, and there weren't many people in there, and it's a small little room. And so we went downstairs to the green room, and when we came back up, it was crazy. It was packed, and it was such a good energy, and there was a lot of really funny people there too, like Cy. You talked about Cy Amundsen. He was there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
I want to see that dude go somewhere. Cy Amundsen, that dude is so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's really funny. We've seen him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
At different places doing open mics. Yeah.
I
thought he was doing an album. Isn't he recording an album?
Yeah.
He is. He's actually recording an album Monday, the 26th of June.
Okay.
At Acme. So instead of the open mic that night, he's going to record an album there.
Beautiful.
OMG, that's awesome.
We might have to check that out.
We'll just have to like put a glass up to the wall and listen through.
No, we'll just. What was that? So that Hopkins place, that was that Royal
Comedy Club in
Comedy
Hopkins.
Club.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to check that place out. It's fairly new, isn't it?
I think it is. It's been there for maybe around a year. I'm just guessing, but
it's small though.
But I've known the owner for it is small, but intimate comedy is great, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's a pretty cool spot then. I gotta check that place out.
I would say so. Absolutely, yeah.
We gotta check that out.
It's a cool little downtown they have there.
Yeah, they do have a cool downtown there. I feel like, I don't know, Minneapolis, Twin Cities area has a few good comedy places. Acme, we've got Rick Bronson's Mall of America, which is cliche because it's the Mall of America, but it's still a good place. Joke Joint in Mendota. And then there's a bunch of other kind of little bars downtown. Grumpy's does an open mic. Underground does an open mic.
Yeah.
Spring Street does an open mic.
That one dude does that thing in his basement. That creepy dude.
He puts the lotion in the basket guy. That guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Wonderful. he tucks the mic between his legs before the show.
Earl's Basement Comedy
Gross.
Night.
I don't think I'll be going to that one.
So what do you got? What do you got coming up in the most nearest future? Most nearest?
Well, I have. Let's see. I have a member guest golf tournament where I live.
Nice.
What golf I know you're asking about comedy, but I'm gonna really break down my schedule.
Yeah. Let's break it down.
I have a member guest golf tournament.
Okay.
And then it's my girlfriend's birthday next Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Chad Daniels' girlfriend.
You got something badass planned?
I do. Well, in my opinion, it's going to be fun, but we will see. That remains to be seen.
Her opinion's the only one that really matters.
What's
though,
that?
Right? Her opinion's really the only one that matters, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I know. We'll have to edit in what happens afterwards. And then the 4th of July. Sure, up by 1,500 lakes in Otter Tail County where I live. I'm sure there'll be something fun going on there.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I go to. I have a buddy. His name's Fritz. He's coming up from Chicago with his family.
What's up, Fritz?
The second weekend in July.
Nice.
Yep. So he's going to go see a Twins game and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, you're going to come down to the cities?
You got any like dentist appointments coming up or anything like that?
Well, we're getting to comedy. We're getting to comedy, I promise.
Okay.
And so the weekend after that, I go to St. Louis. And then I go to, San Francisco, and I go to Cincinnati. So there are some actual work coming up. But, summertime, it's like you live in Minnesota for 9 months of cold. Yes. You have to enjoy the 3 months, so it's tough to leave.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And even during those 3 months of warm weather, you still get some snow in there every once in a while just to fuck with you.
It sure feels like it, but then you find out it's just mosquitoes landing on you.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously, like we'll probably still get we'll get like one day in the middle of July where it's going to snow or something just because Minnesota's a dick.
I love summer, and I try to not complain even when it's super hot. But I always feel like there's the people that have been like, I've been waiting all winter to start complaining about summer. Like, shut up. Like, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnesota is a bipolar chick. It really is.
It's like a drunk chick.
Yeah, that too. Drunk chick. Go home.
Really?
I can't decide.
Go home, Minnesota. You're drunk. Like, figure it out.
Should I snow today, or should I rain, or should I be really hot?
Or should I have like a 30-degree temperature difference from one night to the next morning? Really?
Stupid.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
So you open your windows at night because it's supposed to be 58.
Right.
And then you wake up at 8 in the morning because it's 95 degrees.
And just humid as shit. Like, what? Like, why is my hair sticking to my body on my head? Like, it's... Bleh.
I've stuck my head out the window and screamed at clouds for fucking rain already.
I know.
Clouds.
Like a crazy person.
Right? Well, it's weird. I think it was last week or 2 weekends ago, I woke up and it was like green outside.
Oh yeah, when it hailed and stuff.
It hailed, and it, like in Maple Grove, they had like basically 2 inches of snow, and it was 90 degrees the day before. But I remember waking up and I looked outside and I was like, "It's green.
Oh, wow.
Like this is not good. Like
That
you
was
always know when
creepy.
it looks green outside.
Yeah,
here,
like
it's not good.
Like thousands of people
Oh
died.
yeah,
too.
No,
I
they
flew
didn't.
through Minneapolis, and they had all the flights canceled and everything, so they were trying to restock all
Reroute
the
everybody?
planes. I remember that day. I wasn't here though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was weird.
It was dumb. Minnesota was drunk.
Yeah.
On
I
our
don't know.
period.
Okay.
Hey,
When you can start bleeding for 7 days straight
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
die from
yeah.
it, then you can start complaining to me.
Ba-dum-bum.
That is super impressive.
I saw on what was it that I saw the other day? Was it Instagram?
Probably.
You were showing me.
Well, I was
Instagram
stalking
photo.
you for a couple days.
Frenzy showed me some Instagram photo, and you had like a beard and shit, and I'm like, that's not Chad
No,
Daniels.
it's from the video, and you're on vacation, and you were saying sometimes on my vacation, my inner Aaron Neville comes out, and then you were saying,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be that one.
Yeah, and you had
Yes, I remember it.
You had, and I was like, that's not Chad Daniels.
And I was like, yes, it is. And then I had to show him more pictures with beards.
Yeah.
And he was like, finally like, okay.
Hey, he's rocking a beard now.
Yeah.
Didn't even recognize you, dude.
Yeah, I had a beard. I had a beard for a little bit. It kind of goes off and on.
You lost it.
It's gone now, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I do have to bring up, I love that Aaron Neville song. And if you need to be reminded of how amazing Steve Winwood is, I would suggest you look up the song Valerie by Steve Winwood. You would enjoy it.
Oh no,
Do you remember it?
I know it.
Oh, okay, good.
Fuck yeah, he knows it.
I immediately know it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, I was bugging my girlfriend on vacation with that song all the time.
Yeah.
And so she finally recorded it, and I agreed to be real dumb about it. and then that was the end of it. And then we were thinking about doing a bunch of other. We were staying at a hotel with mirrors in the hallways.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
creepy.
so I was also going to sing "If You Don't Know Me by Now" into the mirror to myself. But then there was just too much alcohol, so then I stopped doing all the fun stuff.
Isn't that usually when the fun stuff starts?
Yeah, and let's be honest,
Well,
you
you
were
would-
not
you-
trying
you
to
would
be
think.
like, you were not trying to be like extra whatever about the song. That's just that was your true emotion coming out when you were singing Aaron Neville.
That's
It's
usually,
okay.
That's
You're
when
not
the
going to
fun.
get any arguments from me.
That's when the fun usually starts.
Yeah.
Is when the alcohol starts flowing.
Well, yeah. Or you just hear a song that just kind of opens up your heart.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. All right. It is time to wrap this thing up.
Okay.
It's time to pull this train into the station. Once we start quoting Steve Winwood and
Well, it's fine.
Valerie,
He is legitimate, credibility with me.
dude's got some jams. I cannot deny that.
Yep.
So, where can people find you online, Chad Daniels, and find all your joke slinging?
Well, you can go to Facebook, of course, and you just search Chad Daniels, and I have twins on my lap on one of my things, and the other one's my headshot. So if you can pick both if you want. And then I'm on it's that THAT, that Chad Daniels for Twitter and Instagram, and I think that's about it.
Yep.
Kinda where
Instagram
I
is
stopped doing stuff.
where you can find the Aaron Neville video. FYI.
Yeah, check that.
Yeah, that's
shit
very
out.
true.
It is-
And if you want to see a swollen from humidity human being bearing their soul, that's a great place to go.
It's like listening to a hug.
A super sweaty hug.
You have a website too, right?
I do, but it's I'm getting a new one, so it's going to be just chaddaniels.com.
Okay.
But it's going to be under construction for a little while.
All right.
So to be continued.
It's basically like summer in Minnesota, under construction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, you can go there and look at like tour dates and stuff like that, but there's nothing cool until it gets redone. So
Okay.
All right, you hear that, people? Go to Chad Daniels' page on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like it, love it, subscribe to it, do all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chad Daniels, thank you so much for sharing your time with us, brother. We had a great time, and we are true fans of your comedy.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
Yeah, you're a badass dude, and you are legitimately hilarious.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you having me on.
Despite
I
what your kids
actually
say,
tell them that every time I tuck them in, I'm like, I'm a good dad. Stop what you're thinking. I'm a good dad.
Stop looking at me like that.
And then there's that fetal position rocking back and forth in the corner. I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad. I love my
absolutely.
kids. I love my
I
kids.
am, right? Right?
You
I
are.
am, right?
And on that note,
Do all
Can
the
I tell
things.
you? Can I tell you guys one thing?
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I know I love you, and that may be all I need to know.
boom. What time is it, Frenzy?
It's outro time.
Damn right it is. Let's do this. That was Chad Daniels, comedian, Minnesota man.
Mm-hmm. Loved it.
Badass dude.
Yep.
Love that guy.
Loved
You can
everything
tell.
about
I was
it.
kissing his ass a few times in that
Yeah,
episode.
your lips are like brown right now.
I know, they're so chapped.
Right?
Ah,
They kind of smell too.
Do they?
Yeah, a little bit. Like ass.
Are you saying Chad Daniels' ass smells?
No.
Yeah, I was kissing it. Now my lips smell. I guess his ass smells.
Anyways, we had a great time talking with
Yeah,
him.
that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Chad Daniels.
Yes, thank you.
It was a good night.
Uh-huh.
What do we got coming up?
Well, we have a potential
Oh, we got a show tomorrow night?
Well, we have a show tomorrow night. For sure with Will Carey from 502 of Comedy.
Yeah!
We also have the potential of having a super show with some other members of 502 of Comedy, along with Larry Roberts, host of the podcast Readily Random.
Yeah.
But it's not a for sure thing yet. So
Yeah, we got to figure out logistics.
we got to see. We'll see what happens, but
Yeah, if everything works out, then you'll get a little
Yeah.
super show and a regular Sergeant Proof show.
yep.
But we're not making promises.
No.
So just calm
Just
down.
wait and see, I guess.
Anybody else?
That's it for June. Then we're done with. Oh no, we got.
No, we got three
got.
more.
Oh no, wait. I told him I can't read dates apparently. We got Monday the 26th. We got a friend of our friend Dat fans, Tony
Calabrese.
Yes.
Comedian. Veteran of the comedy scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward
An
to that
all
one.
around good dude. So we're
Yeah.
excited to have him on. And then on the 27th we have Timothy Hart.
Yes!
Who I've been looking forward to having on for a super long time.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good day.
Sweet. Where can people find us?
On our website.
SergeantProof.com.
Yep. YouTube.
YouTube. We got episodes in places like Spreaker,
iTunes.
Google Play Music,
Stitcher.
we got episodes on YouTube also and on our website.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram.
You're on Instagram.
Yep, I'm on Instagram at Melissa Frenzy and Twitter at Melissa Frenzy. And then Sarge Approved is also on Instagram and Twitter at Sarge Approved.
Yes. And Sergeant Approved is sponsored by National Survival Center.
Yep. They're basically the one-stop shop to buy some badass gear to either go camping with your family, fight off some zombies, or just like have a good weekend out in the outdoors.
Yeah,
free shipping on pretty much everything except for survival food.
Shit's heavy.
They beat all the big box store competitors.
Big time.
Veteran owned. Go check them out. They're amazing. You won't regret it.
Yes. NationalSurvivalCenter.com.
Or survivedon'tsuffer.com. Either
Survive,
way,
don't suffer.
Yeah,
That's their motto.
Just survive. Exactly.
Fuckers, go buy some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Later, fuckers.
The good teacher once taught to love others as you love yourself. But I'm just wondering, what about those who struggle to love themselves? Like, hey, so I'm feeling pretty good today. And life taught me, don't trust that good to stay. And if it don't, then at least I know that love's the reason we are broken. But hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good today. Real life, not everyone got parents to love them. Not everyone got a shoulder to lean on when they're struggling. We all got people to hug us. Even get told enough that we're important and worthwhile, but it don't mean we aren't. Trust me, I know the story, cause I have lived the story in me. To tell you that demons never communicated you are worthy of love. You're worthy of kindness and the patience. You a dream that is worth chasing and an endless inspiration. And if anyone's is different, well fuck them cause they clueless. The obstacles learn to use them till we grow enough to lose us. Security of the demons are quietly a word of the spirit. Say are full of so much bullshit and I'm just so tired of hearing how I ain't good enough. These motherfucking lies, y'all don't know me. Plus the doubt and fear shit is so tired that I'm done with y'all. Cause I don't need your help, and if no one else will do it, I'ma learn to love myself. Like hey, so I'm feeling pretty good today. And life taught me, don't trust that good to stay. And if it don't, then at least I know that love's the reason we are broken. But hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good today. I don't know if I'm a lyricist, but when they hear this shit, best believe every last soul will be cheering it. There will be warriors and the unseen stars rally around this flag of freedom that we chase from our hearts, and together we will stand. Arms linked hand in hand, cause we finally found the people whose souls we understand. They've experienced our pain and sleepless nights and lonely days. If you haven't found us yet, please keep searching, it's not in vain. We will wait for you, we won't take from you. Only accept your battered soul as gratefully as we accept our own. Together we'll build a home that we can share with love. None of us will be alone. Besides, what other choice do we fucking have? Life is too good to burn in the bed without others who will grab the pieces that are wearing out and threatening the shadow. Who will share our tears and laughter just to help hold us together. Like hey, so I'm feeling pretty good today. And life taught me, don't trust that good to stay. And if it don't, then at least I know that love's the reason we are broken. But hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. Like hey, so I'm feeling pretty good today. And life taught me, don't trust that good to stay. And if it don't, then at least I know that love's the reason we are broken. But hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good today. So in conclusion, as the final bars of this play out, I just want to say, fuck fear and fuck shame. Cause to me, those are the two greatest inhibitors to humanity's progression as a whole, but also on an individual level. Because they dictate so much of what we think about the world around us, and ourselves, and the people around us, and how we respond to those people. And it brings nothing good into the world, it just fucking deteriorates and brings death to every situation. And it starts with us. It starts with how we look at ourselves. And so I'm just telling you, like, do not feel shame over any portion of your story. Not a fucking chapter, not a page, not a word. Like, own that shit. That's your fucking life and you are brilliant. And that's my shit. I mean, that's all it really is. May peace be with you wherever you go. May love surround you and lighten your load. May clarity find you at every crossroad. May your journey be mindful and your mind full of hope. Peace and love.